Brother lads, welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. We'll come back to a brand new video. This is the latest Arsenal news and transfer news. It's a breaking story. Mikel Arteta has just confirmed that Arsenal are going to reinforce this summer in every department. We're going to be diving into the interview he has done with James Ollie on ESPN. He's just confirmed that when it comes to transfers, Arsenal are going to be aggressive on the market and we're going to improve every department. That is including incomings and also outgoings as well. So, he's been asked about a striker. He's been asked about a winger in terms of an attack, and he's also been asked about midfielders and defenders. And he said we will try to sign every a player in every department to strengthen. And also, he's explained why Arsenal didn't sign players in June, and also why it is slowing down a little bit this summer. We're going to be diving into all that. All I need you to do is to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well, and let me know how many signings do you think Arsenal need? How many signings do you want to Arsenal to make before the season begins? Because it looks like Mikel Arteta is very serious. He's talked about 114 points next season. That means winning each and every game if Arsenal want to win the Premier League. It's crazy. Let's dive into it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. So first and foremost, Mikel Arteta was asked about what's going to happen on the new deal, and he says the thing that has not changed with me right now is how happy I am at Arsenal and how valued I feel here and how much I love representing this club. Things are very, very much going on in a natural way, and our relationship is that good. I don't predict any issues happening, but I can tell you I'm happy at Arsenal and nothing is actually going to change that. So the first thing Mikel was asked about was his contract, and he says there's nothing there. There is nothing for you to be worried about. It's progressing smoothly, like reported yesterday by Fabrizio and I. It's going on very, very smoothly, and by the time we get to the 21st of July, that deal will be announced and that deal will be done. So Mikel is signing a new deal. Right now, we don't expect any shocks. I mean, we are not Chelsea. We are Arsenal Football Club. Anything that happens at the club is really running in the right direction. So Mikel Arteta, on his new deal, 100% that is happening. Nothing to be worried about. So first and foremost, on the transfer market, Mikel Arteta was asked on how active we are going to be and how active we are expected to be in this transfer window. And Mikel says, I think on both players incoming and players leaving, there are going to be things that happen and there are going to be things that will improve very, very, very surely. And that says that's for sure. We are going to try and be better and try to be active on the market, although the market is very tricky. He says we've been very aggressive and very determined, and we have a clear idea, obviously, of what we want to do. It will come down to finding the right agreements at the right time. That is the first comment he made on the transfer window. We are going to be aggressive, and we're being very aggressive. We are very determined. It's going to come down to the right agreements on the right time, but at the moment, Arsenal are very active on the transfer window. I told you this 2 weeks ago. I don't think, and I never expected, Arsenal to spend 200 million last summer, 200 million the summer before that, and all of a sudden we keep quiet, and all of a sudden we become the team that is not interested in signing players anymore. It wouldn't have made sense. It doesn't make any sense for Arsenal to go so far and then stop so early. For you to go against Man City, like Simon Jordan said, you've got to spend almost 200 summer every single summer. So 200 million every single summer. And I think that's what Arsenal have realized, that every single summer, maybe it's not 200 million, but every single summer you've got to improve that squad, right? In terms of outgoings, you've got to clear out, a few. And then in terms of incomings, you don't have to do 6 signings, 7 signings every single summer. All you've got to do is to make sure that you're refreshing this squad. If the defense needs 1 more addition, you do that. If the midfield needs 2 additions, you do that. And if the attack needs an addition or 2, you also do that as well. So Mikel says there that we are going to be very aggressive, very determined, and we have a clear idea of what we want to do. That washes away other reports that have been saying Arsenal don't have a clear plan of what they're trying to do. Arsenal are confused. We are not confused. We are Arsenal. We cannot be confused. We cannot have a clear plan of what we want to do in 2020, in 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. And then you say 2024, 2025, Arsenal are confused. They don't know what they want to do. This is a squad Mikel has built, for the last 3 years. So he knows that this defense lacks this. He knows that this midfield lacks this kind of puzzle, and he knows that this attack, is missing this. And this is how I want to solve it. So we are determined to improve that squad, and I think he wants Arsenal to go next season as one of the best teams in the world. Not one of the best in the Premier League, but was one of the best in the world. Let's move on. Mikel Arteta still talking about ways to improve the squad. And when he was talking about the idea of new signings, he said we are looking to improve every single department. With the new regulations right now, there are certain things that we have to respect. There are things that we have to improve. That's for sure, and we're trying to do that. So we are trying to improve every department. This is crazy. This is purely insane. Mikel says they're trying to improve every department at Arsenal. That means goalkeeper, defense, midfield, attack. So a minimum of 4 signings, are coming in at Arsenal. Of course, Ramsdale is going to leave. That is warranted. So we have 1 is confirmed. We'll get a new goalkeeper. Calafiori, deal very close. Those are 2. I think Kimmich is going to join Arsenal. Those are 3. And I think Nico Williams will end up at Arsenal somehow. Those are 4. So Mikel says we are trying to improve every department this summer. I mean, even last summer we didn't try to improve it. Did we? I mean, let me see. We brought in an attacker in Kai, a midfielder in Declan, a defender in Julian Timber, and a goalkeeper in David Raya. Yeah, just like last summer, Arsenal improved every department, and you could see there was a vibration of new energy, a vibration of new quality in this Arsenal team. We were, advanced in many areas of the pitch, and I would say our attack scored more goals than they scored last campaign. The team overall scored more goals than we scored last campaign. Then the midfield was certainly better with Declan Rice. We controlled more games than we controlled the previous season. And the defense, 100%, was much better because we had the best defense in the Premier League, conceded only 29 goals in that season. And now Mikel Arteta, on top of Arsenal scoring 91 goals, conceding 29, limiting clubs to an XG of 0.001, Mikel Arteta still wants to improve his squad and is going to improve every department. This is crazy. Whatever Arsenal are creating, we could be looking at one of the biggest monsters that could dominate Premier League football, bigger than, better than ever. Manchester United under Sir Alexander Chapman Ferguson dominated. We might dominate football more than Pep Guardiola has dominated. We might dominate football more than any other team has dominated in the Premier League. This guy is 100% and 10 serious. So Mikel Arteta was also asked about, when you look at last season, what went wrong. This is what he says: when you were analytical and you gather all the stats and everything the team has done over the past 11 months in the Premier League, we should have won it. That's what the stats say. But the reality is we did not win it. So on top of this, Mikel says that he knows and is very sure that if Arsenal don't get to 90 points in any season with Manchester City involved, you don't win the league. So he was asked about how many points then do you think Arsenal need to win the league? And he said the starting position is 114 points. So the first thought is winning each and every game. I mean, it's crazy. It's very crazy. But I want to remind you that we have a ridiculous team that went and collected 100 points in a single Premier League season. And 100 points means, it doesn't mean you don't go you go unbeaten. No, you will lose games. You will even draw games, because if you go 100 points, it means that you have 14 points that you've dropped. 14 points that you've dropped. That is maybe 2 losses or 3 losses. That's 9 points, and then something like maybe 2 draws. So it means that Mikel wants to go in a single season. He wants to go a single season where he has won every game, and he wants to go a single season where he has beaten each and every team. No draws, no losses. It's impeccable. Guys, it's impeccable. The mentality of Mikel Arteta at the moment is being inspired by this Manchester City side. And that's why I'm saying, if Pep Guardiola dare leaves Man City, he's going to have created a monster in Mikel Arteta and Arsenal for the Premier League that the Premier League cannot cope up with. I don't think the Premier League are going to be able to cope with Arsenal without Pep Guardiola. They are going to start saying, we wish Pep was here. We wish Man City, were as strong as they were. Because however much Man City have won 6 out of their last 8, Premier League challenges, and they've won 4 in a row, this Arsenal team are just, most of our players are 23, 24, 25. So in the next 6 years, Arsenal could win the Premier League every single season. And I'm not even kidding about it. If you have a manager that has got the mentality of winning the league at 114 points, we are going to be harder to catch than Man City. We're going to be harder to challenge than Manchester City. But for me, the key takeaway of this from this interview with Mikel Arteta's done with ESPN and James Ollie, very good piece. I like James Ollie in terms of his journalism. Very, very positive, very objective, and I don't think he asks trash questions like many of the press conference guys we hear in London when we are getting into games. James Ollie has asked Mikel Arteta, what is your plan for the transfer window? And Mikel Arteta has, positively and aggressively told him, we are looking to strengthen every part. So, Nico Williams, Joshua Kimmich, Victor Gyökeres, all your boys are on the transfer to-do list. All your boys are on the transfer to-do list for July. Of course, Mikel says that when it comes to June, why we were quiet and why we had that little bit of a blackout is you had things that you had to respect, with the new regulations, right? You had a few things you had to respect, and there was that PSR deadline. And now that it's over, clubs are going to go and do deals, and Arsenal have decided to go and do deals. And of course, it says that now that the Euros and Copa America are going to end, we expect business to pick up a little bit, but it has also been slowed down. That shows you that we have some players that we want to sign that are wasting time at the Euros, that are wasting time at Copa America. Like, Copa America is one of those competitions I don't even watch. There is Messi, there is Neymar. I think those are the players that people watch there. Neymar is not even there. Messi has not played as many games. Those are the people. Those are the players people watch there. It's a trash competition. So Mikel is sure we are going to get his signings, and he's also sure that those signings are going to come in at the right time. It's about finding the right agreements at the right time. So let's wait and see what's going to come out of there. I can't wait to react to this live with you guys, and you tell me what you think about this, because listen, Mikel Arteta, this guy is a joke. He's becoming a joke, and Premier League teams are not ready for him, honestly. I wanted to talk about Jakub Kiwior because I have an update on Jakub Kiwior to Juventus, and I got this breaking story, so we can talk about Jakub Kiwior as well. So with Jakub Kiwior, Juventus are now more confident, and they're growing more confident that they will be able to sign Jakub Kiwior in a deal that will cost them 15 million euros. Now, I don't know whether it's Juve who are smoking something, or Mikel Arteta and Edu are trying to agree a background deal for Juventus to back out of the Calafiori deal so that they can give them Kiwior. Jakub Kiwior is not a 15 million deal. It is not a 15 million deal. It's not even a 20 million deal. Jakub Kiwior, minimum, is 25 million euros. 25 million euros. And Arsenal should not make any mistake of thinking that now because we have Calafiori, we can fail. We should fail to make a profit on Jakub Kiwior. There must be a profit on this boy. There must be a profit, on Jakub Kiwior. At least 10 million euros. But the whole essence of this story is that Juventus are now more confident. Kiwior will sign for them. Even clubs like AC Milan, even clubs like Napoli are now willing to go and negotiate with Arsenal on this deal. So we will see Jakub Kiwior leaving. I've made my prediction before. I think Kiwior is the one that clubs want. Kiwior is the one that has options. Kiwior is the one that every club is really ready to splash money on. And that's why he's he's a much better position to leave Arsenal than Alexander Zinchenko, because with Zinchenko, clubs are not really sure about him. Clubs are not sure whether they sign him as a left back or as a midfielder, and even the money. Arsenal want around 30 million. Clubs are not ready to splash around 30 million on Alexander Zinchenko. Albert Sambilekonga, Arsenal are very close to agreeing a deal with Sevilla when it comes to an obligation to buy. I'm proud of this. So Arsenal are trying to negotiate it in this way. Sevilla want to include a couple of achievements for Albert Sambilekonga for the option to buy to turn into an obligation to buy. Let me explain. So, for instance, if Albert Sambilekonga plays 20 games next season, the option to buy will turn into an obligation to buy. That is kind of a fair deal. That is fair to Sevilla. That is fair to Arsenal. It means that if the player does well for them, well and good, they can sign him on a permanent. If the player doesn't do very well for them, they still retain the chance or the choice of either deciding to sign him or deciding not to sign him. So that deal is very, very close. And the Riccardo Calafiori deal, talks are progressing between Arsenal and Bologna. It is pretty much sealed between Arsenal and Calafiori. So we are dealing with Bologna. I'm hearing so many stuff, a lot of stuff on this deal, but I'm going to come later on. We will be live and we will dissect into what's going on with Riccardo Calafiori. Do we really have a bid rejected? Do we really have any bids that have been sent in? How much are the bids? We're going to talk about all that. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon.